and welcome to the Daily Journal's Prep Focus on Football. I'm senior sports writer Tim Ahrens. Across from me, the man, the myth, the legend, the authority on high school football in the state of Illinois, Steve Susie. Although I look at last week's records, this guy 10-2, this guy 8-4. Are you going to defend that authority on high school football?
I really don't have a position to defend it. I might know a lot about these teams, but I'm simply not relating it to my picks right now. That's really all I can say.
Well, in the overall race, though, I'm not in the lead. Denny Lane is a WKN broadcaster, has 59 wins. Myself at 58. Becky Slingerland also has 58. And down the way there, we see Steve Susie at 55. But I got to do it now because I know at the end of the season I won't be ahead of you, so I got to do it now.
Well, you do what you have to, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, well, this week we have 11 games on the schedule. It's week 7 already. Can you believe that?
Not at all. No way.
We're getting close to the playoffs. Does the area have any teams that have clinched it?
Well, we've got 5 teams that have already reached the 5-win plateau. That doesn't necessarily mean you're into the playoffs, but it definitely means that you've put yourself in a great situation to get there. Those teams right now are Bishop McNamara, Central, Momence, Herscher, and Wilmington. Herscher has a little bit more work to do. They have a playoff point situation where it's a little bit lower than you'd like at this point in the season. So if Herscher doesn't get another win, they're not guaranteed.
Okay. All right, let's jump into to week 7 then, and we'll start on Friday night. Bradley will travel up north to play Lincoln Way North. Bradley is 4-2 overall and 2-2 in the conference, Southwest Suburban. Lincoln Way North 5-1, 3-1. Does that sound right?
That's correct. Bradley missed a golden opportunity to get back into the conference race last week and had a chance to win it if they would have picked up that win against Thornwood last week, but it didn't happen. And now they face a Lincoln Way North team that's really tough to read. They got blown out by Thornton in week 5, the same Thornton team that Bradley beat in week 4. So it's hard to tell exactly what's going to happen in this game. Lincoln Way North is probably a mild favorite, and that's the way I'm going to go with the pick.
I also took Lincoln Way North, but Bradley, if they play their best, they could beat them. Also on Friday night, St. Lawrence comes to town to play the Fighting Irish of Bishop McNamara. Mac is 5-1 and 5-0 in the Catholic League, and St. Lawrence, I believe, is 4-2 and 4-1. If Mac wins this game, what happens?
They're the conference champions in the Catholic League White, and it was not something that a lot of people expected at the beginning of the year. They've got 2 conference games remaining, but Hales is not going to give them any real big game in week 9, so the win would wrap it up for them. So obviously that would be a good accomplishment for the Irish. St. Lawrence isn't going to roll over. They're a decent team, and they need the win badly for playoff consideration, but that was the same situation with De La Salle last week, and we saw what happened there.
So you're picking?
I'm going to go with McNamara.
I will also take the Irish at home. On Saturday, Kankakee travels to Chicago Heights to play Bloom. That's hard. That's a tongue twister. The K's have struggled a little bit at 2-4, but Bloom has struggled a little more. They're 1-5. Who do you like in this one?
Well, Kankakee is in a situation now where they have to win all their games to have any chance of getting into the playoffs. Bloom is not. Is probably not going to be much of a detriment to that. They're not that strong of a team. Kankakee's trying to keep on pace. Their biggest game of the season was looking to be the Week 9 game against undefeated and state-ranked Rock Island Alleman.
And you like?
I'm going to go with Kankakee.
Kankakee sounds like the wise pick here. Back to Friday night in Sangamon Valley action. Central travels to Gilman to play Iroquois West. Central, one of those teams that probably already locked into a playoff berth, but who do you like here?
Big rivalry game for both teams here. Central is playing really good football right now, and they need to be assured that they're not looking past Iroquois West, because Iroquois West will probably throw everything but the kitchen sink at them this week. That's just the way this game is usually played. I'm going to go with Central, but I think it might be a little closer than people think.
Yeah, I've covered this game many times in the past. Iroquois West always rises up when they play Central, Watseka, that sort of thing. I'll take Central, but with the same, it could be closer than people think. And our final one we will look at has the biggest playoff implications. Coal City travels to Manteno. Coal City is 3-3 overall, 2-2 in the conference. Manteno 2-4, but 2-2 in the Interstate 8, a large division. Who do you like here?
Well, it's kind of a must-win for both teams. Manteno needs to win every single game they have remaining to get into the playoffs. Coal City still has a tough game left with Wilmington in Week 8 and a crossover game. So both teams are probably looking at this as a game that they have to win rather than they just want to win. It's tough to call this one. Comparative results don't tell you much. I'm going to go with Mantino only because it's a hunch.
I'll also take Mantino, and basically it's a hunch, and they're at home. That's I guess sometimes the home team gets the nod. So, all right, let's take a look at the other games quickly here and see who we have. St. Joe Ogden comes to Watseka.
St. Joe is probably the better team of these two. I'm going to go with them.
I believe that's the case. I'll do that as well. I think I know your pick here, Wilmington at Westmont.
That's an easy one. I'll take Wilmington.
I will also take
You're not
Wilmington.
taking Westmont? Come on.
Not going to take Westmont.
Branch out a little bit, Aaron. Come on, take
I
some
got to
shots.
protect that lead.
Okay.
I got to protect it. So that's why I always ask you who you're picking first, and then I take the
now
same.
I understand.
Now that way I cover. So next one, Peatone at Herscher.
Tough, important game for Peatone, but I'm still going to go with Herscher.
Yeah, I think like we said before, Herscher's doing well. So Reed Custer at Dwight.
I'm going to go with Dwight. Both teams haven't had much luck this season, but Dwight seems to be playing just a little bit better recently.
I'll take Dwight as well. Got a cover there. So the next one, Vermilion Valley clash between Milford and Danville Schlarman.
Well, both teams have not had much luck at all. I'm going to go with Danville Schlarman. I don't have a reason for you, so that's really all I can tell you.
Well, I'm going to branch off a little bit here, and I'm going to go with Milford, but it's my just because of the week, I guess. I don't know why. I don't have a reason. So, and also on Saturday, Moments will have a home date. They will play Flora, which comes up from the deep south of Illinois. What do you know about Flora?
Flora's a pretty decent team from the Little Illini Conference. They're a long ways away. They got a long bus ride in front of them, and they probably have a result that they're not going to like very much because I think Moments is probably going to handle them easily.
Yeah, I will also take the Redskins, who I've learned to pick every week now. So, we're in week 7. Who is our week 6 player of the week?
We're going to go with Patrick Long from Herscher this week. He's having a strong season, and last week he threw 5 touchdown passes against Coal City and threw for almost over 350 yards. So that's who we're going to go with this week.
Sounds like a pretty good pick. 2 games this week for you, or just 1?
Yeah, I'll be at Friday night. I'll be over at Memorial Field watching St. Lawrence and Bishop McNamara, and then on Saturday I'll be traveling up to Chicago Heights to see if Kankakee can keep their faint playoff hopes alive.
All right, very good. I will be in the office on Friday night to handle all these other phone calls. So that wraps up week 7 of Prep Focus on Football. Be sure to grab Thursday's edition of the Daily Journal and flip right to the sports section, and you can see all the stats and records and staff picks and notebook items. Everything you want to know about high school football is in there, so make sure you grab it. Until then, we'll see you on the sidelines.